What's up, YouTube? It is August 2020, and the supply of cam links are currently wiped out everywhere you look. So if you want to play with adding a live stream on top of your game footage, and you got either an iPhone or a GoPro 7 Black or better camera, I'm going to show you today how to get your face on top of your game footage in OBS without having to wait to get yourself a cam link. So here we go. Okay, first we're going to have to download an rtmp server. I'm choosing monaserver because it's free. A link to this page will be included in the description below. Choose your version, either Win32 or Win64. If you're on Windows 10, if you have a modern computer, it's likely Win64. Download this little bad boy. Tiny little file, 2.56 megabytes. Does exactly what we need. All right. Unzip this. All you get is a simple exe. Run it. It's going to be upset because it doesn't know where it came from. Select run anyway, and you get this window. So now you have an rtmp server that's running. Notice here that the IP that it's running on is zeros across the board. In order to connect your GoPro to this, you're going to need to know what the IP of your computer is. If you're doing this on a Mac, good luck. It should be easy from the network config to find your IP. We're doing this on a Windows machine today. So in order to get your IP from a Windows machine, hit run, type cmd. In the box that appears, type ipconfig. Scroll back up, and where it says IPv4 address, this is the IP of your rtmp server. You're gonna have to put this into your GoPro app later on. If you haven't fixed an IP to your machine in your router, you're going to have to run this every time, because this could change in theory, because it tends to change every time you restart the computer. On my network configuration, I've basically locked this machine to this address so that I just know it every single time. But that's up to you. It doesn't take very long to just run this one little command and get this number. Okay, now that we got our rtmp server up and running, we need to add a source to OBS. So drag OBS in here. I'm going to go to sources, hit add. We're going to add a media source. Create new source. We're going to call it maybe GoPro rtmp. It's not going to be a local file, so uncheck that. And on input, we're going to type rtmp 127.0.0.1. This IP address always refers to the computer you're on. So since we're running the server on this computer, we're going to use that. Input format, we're going to select rtmp. I'm going to go ahead and say use hardware decoding when available. And hit OK. So you can see once I've done that, once I've added that source, in my monaserver window, I got one client. So now the OBS is definitely attached to the monaserver. And we can now go to getting the GoPro attached to the server so it actually shows up. So I am going to turn on my GoPro and then head to the GoPro app on my smartphone. GoPro app. Want to go to control your GoPro. once you're good to go, at the bottom, you want to scroll over all the way to Setup Live. And then choose rtmp at the bottom. Now, in the enter your rtmp URL box, now we're going to type that IP number we looked up earlier that your computer is actually on to the network, which my computer is 192.168.1.248. And then if I just hit Setup Live Stream and then go live, we can see now that we now have two clients on our server. And look at that. There we have my GoPro. So it is sending data. 100% there.
So we are
all you wanted
100% there if all you wanted
to have your GoPro. Like if this was your only source,
was to have your GoPro. Like if this was your only source, you'd be good to go. But if you want it over game footage, we have to do one additional step, and that is because we're using this RTMP setup. There is a massive delay. You can actually see set buffer at 3,000 milliseconds, so 3 full seconds. So what we're going to have to do is on your screen capture or your game capture, you're going to have to delay everything else
so that it syncs up. So in order to do that, what you're going to do is go to your other sources, drag this window back in. So we have to do it for the mic. If you have an external mic, go to filters. No. For microphones, if you go to the setting icons over here and go to advanced audio properties, you can set. So for this machine, what I found out is that 2.9 seconds seems to be the sweet spot where the RTMP stuff lines up. So for both of the mics I have connected, you can see that I've set 2.9 milliseconds of delay. And then for the audio, for the video, it's a little bit more difficult. So what you want to do is come over here, select filters, and in order to add a filter, you click the little plus down here, and it is a render delay. Now the thing about a render delay is it has a maximum of 500 milliseconds. That's just built into OBS, not a big deal. So what we're going to have to do then to get to 3 seconds is add 6 of them. So we've got render delay 2, render delay 3 is also 500 milliseconds. Oops. And on this one, because I know my computer, I'm going to put 400. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to have to do some testing, and you'll change the timing of this last render delay to get to where you think it's perfect. So with that, if I show you my GoPro, and I clap, if I think, hold on a second. Let me go back to advanced audio properties. I'm using my good mic right now. So if I add 2.9 milliseconds to this, or 2900 milliseconds, excuse me, and then I clap. Guys, I'm sorry to say that when I initially started filming this video, I was hoping to show you how to do this not only with a GoPro, but also with an iPhone. I tested a bunch of apps on the iPhone, and I can't seem to get any of them to connect to monaserver. So I'm sorry, but we'll have to end the video here. If you want to use your iPhone as a stream cam, most of the apps will allow the iPhone to do it directly to YouTube. But you can't get it, or other streaming services, but you can't get it into OBS to use it as an overlay. Sorry guys, but thanks for watching. All right, now with our rtmp server running, we're going to add that as a source to OBS. So I'll bring OBS in here.